Age is just a number, right? Well, if you clicked on this video, then you're a person who has their priorities in check. A person who is okay to go against the norms and is able to appreciate love in all its forms. But, more than anything, you're a person that either enjoys young fierce guys or mature females that you can view as a future mother. Because that's what this is all about. Hello and welcome back to Anime Undisclosed. And today we'll be going over the top 10 anime where a younger older female falls for a younger guy. Before we get down to the actual list, make sure to subscribe to the channel as we release videos like this one on a regular basis. And by subscribing, you'll be notified every time we do. Better go do it now before we get you involved with the list. Ready? Good. Now let's get into it. Number 10. Mother of Goddess Dormitory. This is a classic trope. A young male full of hormones and energy ends up in an only girls' dormitory. That's every man's dream, right? Yeah, but this anime takes it to a whole nother level. This time, the guy is a 12-year-old boy and is in a dorm full of feisty, thirsty college girls. As you can imagine, this anime is both a harem and extremely ecchi. Probably the only reason they didn't make the guy older is that the anime would have had to be a hentai then instead. You can imagine what's happening to that 12-year-old boy's body, as he's now a walking hormone witnessing hot girls left and right. It's a crazy situation, but hey, that's what anime is all about. Number 9. My Sister Came. Well, we all know where this got modern and famous from, because the older female here is none other than the young Tomoya's stepsister. Stepsisters took up half the internet at one point, so it's no wonder this anime got as much exposure as it did. Young Tomoya's father remarries another woman, who has a daughter of her own. Said daughter is Tomoya's new, older sister, but she develops quite the crush on him. In fact, this crush gets a little bit obsessive, and this leads to some complications in their life. There's not really much else to say about this anime without spoiling the plot, other than it's way more innocent than it seems. So don't be afraid to try it out, even though there are much better anime coming up later on this list. Speaking of better anime, number 8. Please Teacher. Now, this is an anime. We have a young yet mature woman who is a high school teacher. Of course, this is an anime, so she also just so happens to be an alien. We also have a young boy with some health issues. After having witnessed a traumatizing event, he enters a state of mild comatose, referred to as a standstill, whenever he's under severe emotional stress. Now, as we said, this is an anime. So, of course, this young boy with stress issues is the only one to learn the truth about his teacher. As the two keep this secret together, they develop a certain relationship, and when the principal finds out about them, they're forced to get married, to both keep their positions in the school. This anime perfectly fits the title of the list, even though our alien teacher acts more like a teen than a mature older woman. Even so, it's a pretty cool anime. Number 7. The Caretaker of Sunohara Hall. As we already established, there are plenty of anime that follow the one guy, many females formula. Just like in Mother of Goddess Dormitory, here, a young middle schooler moves to a boarding house full of women. While in this case they're quite similar in age, girls mature faster than boys do, and thus we have girls with mature bodies and hormonal balance living with a young boy who's told that he's really feminine. Of course, living like this will toughen you up, and that's what we see throughout the course of this anime. Not the best, not the worst, but a great anime to kill time and enjoy. Just don't expect to have a huge philosophical development after watching it. Number 6. Do you love your mom and her 2-hit multi-target attacks? Now this is one of the funniest anime you can get your hands on. You know how everyone loves isekai anime? The type where you get reincarnated or transported into a video game or new fantasy world. Well, how about an isekai, but with your hot mom? Yes, it's just like that. We have our protagonist enter a video game, but his mom also enters, because she just wants to. Yes, it's just like that. We have our protagonist enter a video game, but his mom also enters just because she wants to spend more time with him. But what ends up happening is that while he's trying his best to be the best adventurer he can possibly be, she actually is a lot better than him, and takes down all the monsters and takes all the glory. This leads to a lot of attention-seeking MILF lovers, and a lot of awkward moments for the gamer family. The anime does have its intimate scenes with the mom too, so don't worry about that. And also, she's an anime mom, not a real mom, so she looks like a teen. Just saying, in case you were curious. Number 5. Why the hell are you a teacher? Bet you can't guess what the anime is about by the name itself. While it's an overused concept, the student-teacher romance. Why the Hell Are You a Teacher does an excellent job of making an anime lighthearted enough so that you can still enjoy it, despite it being a cliché. The story basically follows 4 student-teacher relationships and how differently they blossom. The actual power of this anime, however, lies in its ability to create the most insane situations in order to get the girls naked. It's not about a diverse plot or moral dilemmas. No, it's about how we can force the 2 characters to get intimate with the most ridiculous situation possible. But don't take that as a bad thing. This anime is hilarious. Definitely one of the better anime of its genre, and it's not even trying to be anything other than what it is. Hilarious, hot, lighthearted, and heartwarming. What more do you need? Number 4. World's End Harem. This is, without a doubt, the newest entry on our list, and it's actually insanely good. Don't be fooled by the name. World's End Harem is not just your average harem anime that's trying to find an excuse to get naked ladies on screen. Instead, it has a heavy plot and some actual moral dilemmas, and this time we're not joking. It's an anime about a virus that managed to kill nearly 100% of the male population on Earth. Only 5 males remain, and they're forced to mate with a bunch of different girls. Our main character, however, refuses, as he's in love with another girl. Since he still feels indebted to society, however, he decides that he'll just find a cure for the virus, and that'll be his contribution. It turns out the virus was man-made, and this leads to some mysteries. Overall, this anime is straight up fire. It has plenty of girls of all ages falling in love with 5 guys, so you're set on that side of the coin too. Oh, and there's tons of nudity. Number 3. Dusk Maiden of Amnesia. Now, we're talking about older women, right? Well, this one is exactly that, but not quite. Yuko is simply just a teenager, but who lost her life while in love with a boy and now haunts the school. The problem is that she has no recollection of her life or how she lost it, so she just wanders the school in search of anything that can help her situation. She ends up meeting a freshman called Teichi, who can actually see her even though she's a ghost, and the two hit it off really well. The two become partners trying to figure out the 7 mysteries of the school, and this leads to some interesting revelations. Oh, and she falls for him, as that is a requirement of being on this list. Number 2. Domestic Girlfriend. What's more awkward than a guy in love with his teacher? That would be a guy who's in love with his teacher, who also happens to be his stepsister. Domestic Girlfriend is a love triangle sort of anime, and it's one of the more famous romance anime out there. It follows Natsuo, who's in love with his stepsister's teacher, but loses his virginity to another girl, and this leads to some issues. Why would it lead to issues? Well, because Rui, the other girl he slept with, and Hana, the girl he's in love with, are both his new stepsisters. So the two are actual 100% blood sisters. You can see why this would be problematic. The story follows the 3, and how they try to work around their situation. It's a touching story, even though it is a little weird, but hey, we're anime lovers. If we can't handle a little weird, then we don't deserve the normal anime as well. You also have to keep in mind that it's Japanese. Of course, TV shows from another country is going to be different from regular TV shows in America. After all, Americans have their tropes too, and they're not perfect either. Before we move on and reveal our top pick, if you like this video so far, make sure to hit the like button if you're a young dude, and fall for it if you're an older female. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel in order to be notified of future content. Now let's see what we have stored up for number 1. Number 1. Kanokan. It shouldn't be a surprise that Kanokan is number 1. Anyone who knows anything about this kind of anime shouldn't have a problem with this pick. Our main character here is a first year in high school called Oyamada Kota, and he gets acquainted with a fox spirit and a wolf spirit. Both girls. Both way older than he is, and both incredibly in love with him and fighting for his attention. The thing is that here Kota doesn't seem to have much say in the matter. They've decided that one of them is going to be his wife, and that's that. The anime is basically a tug-of-war between the 2 girls, with Kota being the rope, but it's a classic in the genre, and many people adore this anime for how cute and lighthearted it is. So, be sure to check it out. And that was it for the top 10, where the older female falls for a younger guy. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to tell us down in the comments below what you think the best anime of the sort are. With our work here done, we'll be taking our leave, so as always, fellow disclosers, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.